विहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ जय गिरिवरधारी जय गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन जय व्रजा जनरंजन यशोदानंदन जय व्रजा जनरंजन यमुनातिरावनचारी जय कुंज विहारी जय राधा माधव जय कुंज विहारी जय राधा माधव जय कुंज विहारी जय राधा माधव जय कुंज विहारी हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे जय जगन्नाथ जय बलदेव जय सुभद्रा माई सुदर्शन 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 जगन्नाथ स्वामी नयन पथगामी भवतु मे जगन्नाथ स्वामी नयन पथगामी भवतु मे जगन्नाथ स्वामी नयन पथगामी भवतु मे जय राधा माधव Radha Madhava Shri Radhe Jaya Radha Gopinath Radha Gopinath Radha Gopinath Shri Radhe Jaya Radha Chandra Radha Krishna Chandra Radha Krishna Chandra Shri Radhe Jaya Radha Krishna Chandra Radha Krishna Chandra Radha Krishna Chandra Shri Radhe Jai Radha Damodara Radha Damodara Radha Damodara Shri Radhe Jai Radha Damodara Radha Damodara Radha Damodara Shri Radhe Radha Madan Gopal Radha Madan Gopal Radha Madan Gopal Sri Radhe Jaya Radha Madan Gopal Radha Madan Gopal Radha Madan Gopal Sri Radhe Jaya Gauranita 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 Jaya Gauranita Jaya Gauranita 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 Jaya Gauranita Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gauranitai ki jai. Yes. Hare Krishna devotees. So we'll start the session now. Today we are going to discuss 34th shloka of 23rd chapter, 4th canto, Srimad Bhagavatam. So Pruthumara story continues in this shloka also. And most importantly, today is Narsi Chaturdashi, appearance day of Lord Narsi Bhagwan. Narsi Bhagwan ki jai. So in very crores of years before, in earlier yugas, Lord Narsiya appeared as the Vishnu Krishna's fourth avatar. 14th sequence out of 10 Lila Avtaras. This is the fourth avatar. So Matsya, Varaha, Kuruma, and then Narsiya. So he appeared to kill Hiranyakashipu, demon, but more importantly, he came to satisfy the desire of his devotee, great devotee, Prahlad Maharaj. Although Prahlad Maharaj was in demoniac ancestry, demon ancestry, but Prahlad Maharaj is a great devotee of Lord. So Bhagavatam narrates all those stories which are very transcendental. So even though somebody is in demoniac family, one can be devotee. Prahlad Maharaj is the biggest example. Like that, there are many examples. Vratasura demon was there. In fact, after Prahlad Maharaj, Bali Maharaj came. He was also greatest devotee. Lord Vamana blessed him. So these are the pastimes of Krishna in various his avatars. Prithu Maharaj is a Shaktavesha avatar, enabled or empowered avatar. Shaktavesha avatar. Lord Nrsimha killed Hiranyakashipu. Hiranyakashipu was demon, but actually ordinary devotee, Jai and Vijay. And out of that, one of the Jai Vijay, he continued further and he became Hiranyakashipu demon and he wanted to get liberated, Jai Vijay. Because Jai Vijay was blessed, cursed by four Kumaras. And as a part of that curse, they were continuing taking the births of demons, first Ravana, then Hiranyakashipu. So Hiranyakashipu was killed because he was having benediction of not getting killed by any type of weapon, not getting killed either in daytime or night time, not getting killed in the on the floor or in the in the sky like that, not getting killed by human or animal like that. Hiranyakashipu came, he was neither human nor animal. He was like blend of the lion and human. He was killed at the dusk, evening, when the night just evening is just starting. Yeah, evening it is setting, and then night is starting. He was killed by the nails of Hiranyakashipu, by Lord Nrsimha. So it's neither weapon of made of wood or metal or nothing. It's not even weapon. It's a human part, body part. So Prahlad Maharaj became satisfied. Prahlad, he was harassing Prahlad Maharaj, although he was his father. Nice movies also there. Lord Nrsimha movie is there, recently released. 1 year, 2 years before it released. Nice movie, we can see that. Nice pastimes and Bhagavatam stories are there. Bhagavatam is describing the pastimes of Lord Nrsimha very vividly. Anyway, today is not a topic of what, but I just wanted to take this opportunity to glorify the Lord Nrsimha. So let's glorify Lord Nrsimha, his pastimes, and more importantly, his devotees' pastimes, Prahlad Maharaj, and get blessed on this auspicious day. Okay, so coming back to the Prithu Maharaj story, today we are going to discuss that its continuation. It's almost at the end, and we are going to discuss the pastimes of Prithu Maharaj shortly. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskritam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tado Jayamudire Nashtaprayasho Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitamena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Mena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamyam Dadati Sapadantikam Vandeham Sigram Siyata Padakamalam Sigaram Vaishnavansha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sarvadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Sri Vishaka Vitam Sha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate गोपेश गोपिता कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे राम 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 हरे हरे I'm just projecting the shloka on the screen and then we can recite the shloka and purport by Hare Krishna. Good shloka, 23rd chapter of 4th canto, Srimad Bhagavatam. अस्पष्टकीर्तिः शूयशा मूर्खो भवति पंडिताः इदं स्वस्तयनं पुंसाम् आमांगल्य निवारणम. Word to word translation by Srila Prabhupada. Aspashtakirtihi, unmanifested reputation. Suyashaha, very famous. Murkhaha, illiterate. Bhavati becomes. Panditaha, learned. Idam, this. Swasti ayanam, auspiciousness. Pumsam, of the main. Amangalya, inauspiciousness. Nivaranam, prohibited. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Also, one who hears this narration 3 times will become very reputable if he is not recognized in the society. And he will become great scholar if he is illiterate. In other words, Hearing the narrations of Prithu Maharaj is so auspicious that it drives away all bad purport by syllable. In the material world, everyone wants a profit, some adoration, and some reputation. By associating with different ways with Supreme Personality of Godhead or a devotee, one can very easily become opulent in every respect. Even if one is not known or recognized by society, he becomes very famous and important if he takes to devotional service and preaching. As far as education is concerned, one can become recognized in society as a great learned scholar simply by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, wherein the pastimes of the Lord and his devotees are described. This material world is full of dangers at every stage, but the devotee has no fear because devotional service is so auspicious that it automatically counteracts all kinds of bad luck. Since hearing about Prithu Maharaj is one of the items of devotional service, that is Shravanam, naturally hearing about him brings all good fortune. Prabhupada ki jai. कीर्ति सुयशा मूर्खो भवति पंडिताः इदं स्वस्तेनं पुंसाम अमंगल निवारणम. Also, one who hears this narration 3 times will become very reputable if he is not recognized in society, and he will become a great scholar if he is illiterate. In other words, hearing of narrations of Prithu Maharaj is so auspicious that it drives away all bad luck. नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रस्थाय भूतले श्रीमदे जय पताका स्वामी नित्य नामिने नमो आचार्य पदाय निताय कृपा प्रदायिने गौरगता दमनय नगर ग्राम तारिणे नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रस्थाय भूतले श्रीमदे भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी नित्य नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्री असदि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Okay, so Pruthumara story continues. In this shloka, glorification or importance of hearing the pastimes of Prithu Maharaj is hearing as well as narrating, preaching, as well as hearing, listening. The glories are mentioned, and it's not just ordinary, benefits. It's not ordinary benefits. There's a huge benefit of hearing the glories of pastimes like Prithu Maharaj. Now, who was Prithu Maharaj? As we discussed, he was a king. He was Shaktavesh incarnation of Lord Krishna. He has come to re-establish the religious principle based on Vedic culture because his own father destroyed all those culture being a very demoniac king. It was not easy for ordinary human being to re-establish this chaos. This keeps happening. As we discussed some time back, Lord Narasimha came to re-establish the religion because Hiranyakashipu has conquered the whole 3 worlds of material world. All 3 worlds of material world. Demigods were captured by him. Demons were anyway there. Human being, he was ruling on all 3 planetary systems. And he was not in favor of worshipping Lord Vishnu. The moment somebody is not in favor of worshipping Lord Vishnu or devotion, he become demoniac. And he cannot run the religious based society, religion based society. It will be of his own. It is said that Hiranyakashipu had his own deities installed throughout his kingdom and people should worship him. Not Vishnu, not Krishna devotee, only Vishnu, only Hiranyakashipu's deity. So this cannot go on because as we discussed earlier also, if we are not worshipping Lord Krishna, Lord, in any form, that society cannot sustain for a long time. That's why Kali Yuga is always destruction periodically interpreted, because majority people don't worship Lord Vishnu. It keeps happening, and of course it continues for some time. But there is a destruction, suffering, chaos, re reappearance of good timing, and again bad timing, good timing cycle. But in Kali Yuga, things deteriorates. And at the end of Kali Yuga, things will be again re-established. All the demoniac population will be killed by Kalki Avatar. And again, this is what always Bhagavatam mentions. So, to re-establish the religion, principles of religion based on Vedic culture. So, why it is important to glorify the pastimes of personalities like King Prithu or Avtaras or his devotees? So it's not only Lord Vishnu's glorification we should do, Krishna's glorification. All his avatars are there. Of course, we should glorify those avatars and in all forms. But equally important is we glorify the pastimes of the qualities or greatness of his devotees also. Why? Because devotee is equally powerful like Lord. In fact, he is more powerful sometimes because he is empowered by Lord. And Lord loves him much than himself. Hence, devotee can be at a times very powerful, more merciful. And he can actually deliver the souls from this material world. In fact, Prithu Maharaj is, we say that he is a Shaktavish avatar, is like a god. But more importantly, he was not displaying that. He was not projecting himself as I am the avatar. Like Narsiya Bhagavan. Narsiya Bhagavan said, I am Lord himself. Lord Rama came, I am Lord himself. All these 10 avatars, they were actually declaring that I am that avatar. I am the Lord. I am Krishna himself. I am their Lila avatar. But Prithu Maharaj was not declaring because he was Shaktavish avatar. Shaktavish means empowered to do some mission. Mission will be always to establish the principles of religion and devotion to the Lord Krishna. That is a real religion. Obviously, he was not declaring that. And he was, in fact, behaving like an ideal king, ideal husband, ideal friend, ideal father, and more importantly, ideal devotee of Lord Krishna. So he was always continuously praying Lord Krishna, dedicating all his fruits of his activities to Lord Krishna, glorifying Lord Krishna, establishing the religious, uh, facilitating the yajnas, which is meant for Yajna Purush, that is Vishnu, and all that. Protecting the cows, protecting the Brahmanas, protecting the Varnasrama system. Himself being a king was following Varnasrama. He behaved like a king. He protected all Brahmanas and cows and that, protected the whole religion, Vedic Sanatana Dharma. So, in fact, when we glorify Prithu, we are more glorifying Prithu as a devotee of the Lord, ideal king also, than Shaktavish avatar, because his activities were focusing on as a devotee. And devotee will never perish. Lord Krishna says, my devotee never perishes. Name bhaktya vinashanti. So, in this particular shloka, it is said that one who hears the pastimes of Lord 3 times. Of course, it's not only 3 times. You can hear more time, even 1 or 2 times also, or even 3 times. whatever it may be, repeatedly, basically, he gets various advantages. It is said, Prabhupada explains, I mean, the shloka entrance explains, also one who hears this narration 3 times will become very reputable if he is not recognized in society. Means he'll become famous. If somebody is not famous, he'll become famous. If somebody is not a great learned scholar, if he is somebody illiterate, he will still become great scholar. Means Prabhupada writes, hearing of narration of Prithu Maharaj is so auspicious that it drives away all bad luck. So, why this is happening? This shloka really actually talking about material benefits, becoming learned. Learned means so-called in day-to-day studies. Becoming famous, it's all material benefits. Bhagavatam, most of the places propagate pure devotional service, and Bhagavatam and devotees are propagating pure devotional service without any expectation of material benefits like this famousing, becoming famous, becoming learned, becoming wealthy, becoming healthy, or blah blah. Bhagavatam actually says that all that thing you need not ask. You just go for asking devotional life, devotional service of the Lord Krishna, love of Lord Krishna. But in this shloka, Rutumara story, if somebody hears, it is said that here one will get all those benefits. Not only that, there are many benefits, like earlier shlokas. I just read. Any person who engages himself within this material in performing activities that necessitate great struggle and who, after obtaining human form, which is chance to attain liberation from miseries, undertake the difficult task of fruitive activity must be considered to be cheated and envious of itself. It is said that if fruitive activity doesn't help you, okay, then next shloka says, of any person who describes the great characteristic of King Putu with faith and determination, whether he reads or hears of them himself or helps others to hear of them, is certain to attain very planet which Maharaj Prithu attained. In other words, such a person also returns home to the Vaikuntha planet, back to Godhead. So this is a spiritual benefit. Okay. If one hears characteristics of King Prithu Maharaj and is a Brahmana, he becomes perfectly qualified with Brahminical powers. If somebody is Brahmana, he'll become more qualified Brahminical power. If he is Kshatriya, he becomes king of world. If he is Vaishya, he becomes master of many Vaishyas and animals. And if he is Shudra, he becomes many devotee also. It doesn't matter whether one man is woman. Anyone who with a great respect hears his narration of Maharaj Prithu will become parent of many children, if without children, and he will become the richest if without money. See, material benefits are also mentioned. Spiritual benefits are also mentioned. If one hears and narrates, preaches the glories of the King Prithu. So we may wonder why material benefits are offered here. Because we are talking about transcendental benefits, spiritual benefits, devotional service. Bhagavatam says you should not ask any material benefit as per still why it is offered. Because there are multiple types of human being or living entities rather. All are unique, all are souls. In a purest form, we don't need any of all this material benefit because we are Satchidanand. We are eternally blissful. We are eternally happy. We don't need any material benefits. We don't need any material necessities. But in current state, we are into this material world. Our body senses are there. We are attached to our body senses and mind also. So there is a different psychology for each person in this material world. Everybody may not be at a very elevated stage of the devotion. Everybody may not be so elevated devotee. Srimad Bhagavatam is a ripened fruit of Vedas. Ripened fruit means summary, conclusion, final ripened fruit. You just take and eat, you will get benefited. Srimad Bhagavatam is trying to give benefit to all type of living entities with all sort of different psychologies. Some people may have psychology of becoming rich. It's a material contamination. It is not good, but that psychology still prevails. And by heart, they are devotee. They are actually servant of Lord. They feel they are servant of Lord. They are devotee, sincere. But still that material desires are still continuing in the mind. It will take some time to remove those desires. It's not easy. It's Maya is very strong. So Srimad Bhagavatam is actually trying to address those sort of psychologies also. So that people get satisfied by fulfilling their material desires and quickly come to devotion service. Understand that those desires are not really so pleasing or so much it will give happiness. It will not give happiness. It's just temporary happiness. But Lord want us to understand this quickly. So he will benefit sometimes those material desires to the devotee like probably us, who has got still material desires, but devotees of the Lord. They have got sincere desire to serve the Lord. The desire has to be there. Sincerity in the desire has to be there. Then only these material desires also may get satisfied sometimes by the Lord, because that becomes the hurdling point to progress in the devotion. Because we are so much attached to this material desire. The Lord says, okay, you take this, enjoy. But we'll be frustrated anyway. Because Lord awards this material benefit in such a way that devotee will not ask them again, oh, no, it's not worth of it. He'll say, it's not worth of it. Dhruva Maharaj has one psychology. Dhruva Maharaj is a great devotee of Lord. He has this one of this psychology where he wanted kingdom. He wanted king, not only his kingdom, he wanted not only his father's kingdom, because his father and his stepmother dethroned him from this kingdom, from the throne. Dethroned him. And he went to forest, he was insulted. He felt, no, I forget about even getting my father's kingdom. I will get the kingdom of the Manu, or rather Indra, or Yoga Indra, or even Vishnu. It was his material desires. But it started with material desire. But when he did severe austerity and when he was guided by Narad Muni, great devotee of Lord, his desire got changed to spiritual desire, devotional. He became devotional. He said, no, I don't want this material. I want your service, devotional service. Example. So, but the different psychology, you know. Prahlad Maharaj was a pure devotee right from there. He said, no, I'm devotee. I don't want anything. I just want devotion. And he got it. There are demons like King Ratasura. King Ratasura had he captured all the Indra and all those demigods. He was a demonic king, but he had that desire of dying in the hands of Vishnu or dying for Vishnu. He was a devotee of Vishnu, so he got killed and he got liberated. Bali Maharaj also was a demonic king, but he wanted to capture the whole world. But he was sincere enough to satisfy the Lord Vishnu, and Lord Vamanadev came and gave him whatever he wanted. I mean, he put his leg on his head and he was given the separate kingdom, eternal kingdom in the spiritual world. See, these are the various psychologies, various devotees, various pseudo devotees or semi devotees like us who are on the path. We have got different. We have got material desires. Somebody want wealth, somebody want health, somebody was famous, want to become famous in society, somebody want to become learned in various sciences. Lord awards that. If we hear the pastimes of the Lord, of course, we should not. The thing is, but we should not hear those pastimes with the intention of getting this material desire. Then we will not get this, because our mind is not pure. Material desires may be there, but still our mind can be to some extent pure. That purity may be there, sincerity may be there. The purity or sincerity is restricted to doing the devotional service to Lord, loving the Lord Krishna. That might be there. Simultaneously, there may be some material desire due to contamination of earlier births or earlier our tendencies. Maybe there, Lord want to cut those desires, material desires fast by avoiding some benefits and ultimately making you, oh no, making you realize that even though you get those material desires satisfied, you are not going to be happy permanently. The best way to become happy, permanently blissful, is to serve the Lord. But to prove this pastimes continues. So Prithu Maharaj and personalities like Prithu Maharaj, when you hear the stories or pastimes, what should be our mood? Although Bhagavatam or Vedas says you will get this benefit, you will get do this yagya, you will get this benefit, do this thing, you hear, listen the glorification of the Ekadashi, glorification of pastimes of the various avatars. They are all occurred because different type of psychology people will be there and allowed on to attract them, bring them to this so that once they come, they will ultimately get elevated slowly to devotional service. That's the whole plan. But if somebody doesn't want this material desire and pure enough to do the devotional, we should continue. Our effort should be to become pure devotee of Lord, not to become the, asking always some material benefits. That is the whole, mood of listening to Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam is meant for highest pure souls, Parikshit Maharaj. Parikshit Maharaj, what desire he had? In fact, he was the king of earth. He has everything. But somehow, by destiny, by Lord's arrangement, he was cursed and said that you will lose, you will die in 7 days. So, different psychology. Parikshit Maharaj, what psychology he had? He just wanted to serve the Lord. He was not attached to his kingdom. So what he did, you know, he sort of rejected his kingdom and he went to forest and took the guidance from Shukada Goswami and he listened, he heard the Bhagavatam and got liberated. Different psychology, So we should not ask for material benefits when we hear Bhagavatam. We should not have those mind in mind that I will get this, I'll get this, I'll get benefited. Our mood of Srimad Bhagavatam, hearing the pastimes of Lord and his devotees through Srimad Bhagavatam should be like, I just want to get attached to Lord Krishna and his devotees. That sincerity we should maintain. You will get material benefits anyway, if Lord desires. So we should always have that if Lord desires. We should always have that mood that if you want, if Lord want, please give me. If you don't want, okay, it's fine. Like that. But what we should always ask for is, I want your devotional service in any way. In any case. We should be very desperate for this, to getting blessings from the Lord Krishna in the form of his devotional service. Of course, still we should say that if you want, you give me that. Because ultimately it's the Lord desires and Lord will give. Anyway, he is very merciful. Bhakta Vatsal. He will give that. But our mood or approach should be like, yes, we have got material desires. Let it get satisfied. Leave it unto the Lord, whether it gives or not. Let it happen as per our destiny. But our mood should be always serve the Lord, glorify the Lord, glorify the devotees, and keep asking for devotional service. That is the secret of successful devotee. We should always have that mood. Then, what will happen to us? Whatever material desires we have got, it may get fulfilled by the wish of Lord. Mostly it will get fulfilled. That's Lord is promising. Anyway, we are not really worrying about it. It will get fulfilled. Even though it doesn't get fulfilled, it's ultimately Lord's desire. We should take it that way. But what happens is, while having this attitude, while listening the Srimad Bhagavatam with love and care, we slowly develop the attachment to the Lord, to his devotees. We get purified. Our purification of this so-called psychology, different psychology, which is having contamination of material life, you will slowly get purified, and it will have only pure desire for pure love towards the Lord. That is called purification. So when you hear the pastimes of Lord and his devotees in Srimad Bhagavatam, our purification starts immediately on the day we have started hearing about pastimes of Srimad Bhagavatam. The day one, it will start the moment we started it. We keep continuing listening those stories, pastimes repeatedly, one time, two time, three time, four time. Whatever we hear, whatever we understood, please try to narrate to your friends, family members, whoever there in society, whoever is ready to take this message. Please start narrating those stories to him. Even though we may not be expert preachers or expert narratives making people कथास कथावाचक बोलते हैं उसको. We may not be expert in that. We may not have understood fully. But at least we should start narrating those stories, whatever we heard, as it is from the Bhagavatam or from the devotee. That will be more satisfying to the Lord. Of course, hearing is very important, because hearing nothing is going to happen further. Shravanam is very important. Out of Navavida Bhakti, Shravanam is the topmost and first starting point. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Dasyam Sakyam Atma Nivedanam. 9 types of devotional service. Shravanam comes first. What is Shravanam? Shravanam means hearing of the name of the Lord, hearing of the qualities of Lord, hearing of the glorification of the Lord, hearing of the Mahamantra, hearing about Lords and his devotees. That is Shravanam. So we should keep listening to the Lord pastimes. Focus on listening those. Purification starts. Once purification starts, we become detached from material world. So-called psychology, so-called material contamination goes down, and we really start reducing those material desires. Anyway, we'll fulfill our material desires by Lord's mercy. That's different type, different issue. That's a different point. It will anyway happen, but we are not attached to that. And because we are not attached to material life, our attachment to spiritual life increases. Attachment to devotion increases, detachment of the material life starts, detachment starts, more attachment to Lord, like that it continues. This is the way we should continue glorification of the Lord. And with this humble attitude, we should always depend on mercy of Lord. Hear the pastimes, and when you glorify, hear the pastimes, qualities of the Lord, we also start manifesting those qualities in ourselves. That's very important, because it generally said whatever we hear or listen, it starts getting into that. But more importantly is, what is more important is especially the pastimes of the Lord, pastimes of the holy name is so powerful. Pastimes of the devotees are so powerful that in whatever mood we listen, but especially if we have this sincere mood, will become start we start manifesting those qualities in us also. Purity, truthfulness, humble, service attitude. Those qualities which are there in Lord also start manifesting in us. And obviously, people who doesn't like the people like devotees, real devotees. Who doesn't like the people who are humble? Who doesn't like the people who are, everybody like people who are humble, truthful, austere, very silent, very decent, like that. Everybody likes. Society also likes. This way we become famous. But our purpose is not to become famous, but those qualities anyway comes in us. So that divine qualities which are there in Lord will also come to us. Rather, it will manifest. They are already there in us now also. But it will get manifested if you start recovering from this material contamination. And the cover of material contamination comes out, gets dissolved. That is exactly called purification. And we start manifesting those qualities which are divine, like a Lord. And in this way, slowly we become attached to the Lord's devotional service. So, this is how importance of Srimad Bhagavatam is there. If we hear it with proper mood, proper attitude, and sincerity, and of course, we should hear it from the mouth of the devotee, which is coming from Parampara, like Prabhupada. Prabhupada explained all the Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita properly interpreted as it is to us, because that's also equally important. And Bhagavad Gita also says, Lord, Arjuna asked Lord Krishna, who is the most dearest yogi to you? He said, the person who is my devotee, who is always worshipping me. And more importantly, who is telling about myself, telling about me to the others, preaching basically, is the most dearest to me. So by hearing, we become slowly divine. We become purified slowly. It takes time, but it depends on our sincerity. If we are sincere, it will become very fast. Doesn't matter whatever time it takes. Slowly start, but it starts immediately. And since we have heard it from the right source, right attitude, we can narrate it to others also with the same potency, because that comes automatically. If you are heard with the proper attention and purity, you will be able to tell this to others with equal purity and potency. And others get benefited. Then you also get benefited. You get credit for that, preaching color, because Lord will always be happy with you. And in this way, it is immensely beneficial for our spiritual growth, spiritual progress, to hear about Srimad Bhagavatam first with the proper attitude and then narrate it to the others to make Lord famous, to propagate the Lord's mission, Lord's message, which is coming from Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. So we should keep hearing the pastimes of the Lord. To Maharaj, we have been hearing. So obviously we are got benefited. We'll get benefited because we have been doing it for since long. And many times we heard. But what benefit we should be asking? We should ask the benefit, saying that, please take me to your, we should ask the Lord that, please take me to your devotional service. That should be the only thing we should be asking. Material benefits will come, may not come. Definitely it will come. Lord assures that, but we should not too much worry about it. That will happen. But to cater to the different psychology of people, different type of people, Lord want to liberate everybody, not only the great devotee. He want to liberate the lowermost people also, who might have so many desires. But if he has got at least little bit desire of coming to Lord, then Lord will take care of him and will bring him to the Lord himself. That is how the Bhagavatam and stories of in the Bhagavatam, pastimes of the Bhagavatam are, given to us so that we get benefited. Correct? So, Prithu Maharaj is example, and this is the context for today's shloka. Okay, so I'll stop here today. And any questions, comments, please suggest or ask the questions, and then we can close the session. But thanks for taking your busy time and coming on the morning session. And today is very auspicious day. We are reciting the Prithu Maharaj story, and more importantly also, today is a Narsya Chaturdashi, which is very auspicious day. So we should always ask Lord Nrsimha to protect us from the Maya and take us to the Lord's devotion. So any question, comments, please come up. Otherwise, we close the session.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Dandavat.
Uh,
Yes,
Prabhu, that Narasimha Avatara, it is replicating to us to To remove our ego and dissolve, it will like that, or it is explaining some other this one.
No, it is explaining many things to us, many things, not only ego. It is giving us to more devotion also. It is explaining to ego, removing the ego. It is also coming to kill our devilish tendencies, evil tendencies. It is also giving us the strength. Now, Lord Nrsimha means strength, right? Strength. It is giving us the strength also, because we will be struggling in the life, day to day life, very day to everybody struggles. So we need a strength. The Lord Nrsimha gives that strength. Vigna Vinashaka Narsya Bhagwan ki jai. We say that. Na Vigna Vinashaka. It will remove obstacles from the devotee, from the devotion. It will remove. So it is coming to us for whatever we want. We want to remove our ego. Whatever you want, Lord Krishna, Lord Narsya will give. So every avatar has always giving everything, whatever. But prominently, he is there to protect us. Okay. He's there to protect us, because Kali Yuga, there is a lot of danger. So he will protect us from the dangers if we are devotees. And it will remove the ego and all that also. It will purify us, because he removed the ego of Hiranyakashipu. Similarly, he will remove the ego of us, whatever bad tendency. Yes, so he is coming for removing ego. He is there to protect us. He is giving us the strength and all that. So everything is there too. Sure.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you.
Hare. Yes. Okay. Hare Krishna. So if there are no question, comments further, we will close the session today. And thanks all the devotees for joining from your busy schedule. Keep listening to Putumara stories, keep listening to Bhagavatam, keep listening to devotees' pastimes, Lord pastimes, and get blessed. Hare Krishna. Dhanyavad. Thank you.
Hare
Srila
Krishna Prabhu. Thank you
Prabhupada.
very much. Dhanyavad.